So if we want to use our microphone, just slide one in front of you and make sure the green arrow is on. There you go, and you can, it'll be broadcast. So.
Okay, looking for a motion to approve the minutes. Do we have a second? Second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. The Corn Palace mural update. Do you want to do Kiki first?
So, no, we'll do this part of the public meeting, and then she can address the group. So, number of updates, which we'll get to. Most of those concerning contractual items with our shows and updates. So, before we get to that in the executive session, the decorating. I think again. It seems like a month goes by just like this. It's amazing. Been here since November. It's like, oh my gosh. So I'm crossing my fingers. We had to cancel circus and cancel dinner theater and cancel 2 concerts. And I don't want to cancel festival. I need to experience it. Otherwise, I got to wait a whole year and do that again because you just can't learn it all by reading it. But on the decorating, so our stay and play theme, as you know, Dakota Wesleyan went on hiatus and never brought their students back. So nothing's been transferred of our designs to those final. Now, that can be done. We can use our people to do that. Jeff actually does all the symbols himself anyway, and we're in touch with Kyle. So contractually, Kyle says, we haven't met our obligation, that he'd like to just roll some of that over to 2021. So we'll address that certainly later in the year. But and if we have time today, I'd like to go outside and talk when we're talking about our concert setup and things. But you'll see on the south side, they have tore off almost all the corn is gone now that was put up in place of rye straw last year that we just stopped and it didn't look good and it didn't survive the winter very good, quite honestly. So he has put the 1921 to 2021 100 years. They're adding some design to the murals. So that is up now. The intent was that 100 years of this Corn Palace is next year, and we thought as you know, responded all in favor that it should be recognized. Some said, it should be more prevalent in the front, but without knowing exactly what we're going to change out in the front, this is probably the best place to do it. And so we've talked to our tour guides so they know, well, what's 2021, 100 years, So, and our rice straw showed up this morning. It's a wonderful crop. And we didn't hire a decorating crew this year. In the past, 8 to 10 people have been hired, part-time, full-time. And that's that crew that dwindled to about 5, but we're here till last January. Well, given our condition, we said, what can we do? And I talked with Jeff. We actually have 6 of our concession crew, 4 female, 3 female. No, 4. 4, and are decorating too. They've all asked for more hours. So rather than hire new, we're simply giving those that we have more hours, and they've done a nice job. They did the dock, wonderful crop of sour dock this year too. So in fact, we're pretty well done with the dock except for the design. And straw will be tied over the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then Jeff and Austin Kleinsasser will be the decorators. And then we can use, you have to be 18-year-old or 16 years old or older to be in the lift. Excuse me, 18 years or older. So we have 3 of those plus Jeff and Austin that can do that. So if you go outside, you'll see that. And then the corn availability, I'd sent this out, I think, earlier. So the intent was that we stored the corn in January to use in June. Well, that was a good news, bad news. The good news is that process will work. The corn we stored that was on top was in good condition. There was no rodents. It kept its color. It stayed on the cob just fine. Bad news was those tubs that we sorted the corn in, December, January, it got filled with snow and ice and frozen in there over the course of those months. Even though they were tarped, it blew in. And so when they hauled it out there, it wasn't all taken out and put into a dry bin. That was the mistake, because when that melted in the spring, we had 8 inches of slop in the bottom of those bins. So we have some corn. We don't know if we can do the complete Sturgis mural. Well, we know we can't because we didn't have enough black, but we could do it in red. So that's certainly a possibility. But good news is, how we'll handle that process is when the corn comes in, we're going to have lots of excess corn because we aren't doing all the murals. That we'll make sure it's dry. There's no moisture in the bottom of the tubs, or we'll ventilate them, and it'll keep just fine. So that process will work, and we will be doing some corn coming up here in July, but most of that will be done in the fall by far. That'll be murals 7, 8, 9, those last 3. So you get a chance to see that. And that's kind of the mural update. Upcoming events, you saw the ribbon cutting. Some of you were there. Thank you for those that came. Appreciate it. I thought we had a nice turnout. I've been to a few of those. It was a good crowd. And then we have the farmers market starting tomorrow night, 4:30 to 7. Looks like there's a chance of thunderstorms about 5 o'clock tomorrow. So we'll deal with that. I think we have 11 to 14 vendors right now. We know 1 or 2 are showing up tomorrow night because they're going to bring their paperwork with them. So it'll start a little smaller, then hopefully it'll grow. And as we're scheduled through September 23rd, and it'll be every Wednesday except the week of festival of August 26th. We moved it from Thursdays to Wednesdays, so we didn't have to cancel them. We would have had to cancel 3 events if we went on Thursdays. 3 times, I should say. And then a week from Saturday, you have this poster in your things. We can get you more of those. In fact, I'll email it out to you. If you have a place where you can put that up, this is our tribute to Essential Workers Party on the Plaza. The parade is that day, 10 to noon. And then we're going to have the Something New Band 7 to 10 on the Plaza stage. So we're hoping to do a kind of a street dance type of atmosphere. Invite all of you, families and friends, if you're around. Spread the word. Social media is great. You've got email contact lists. You're allowed to post a poster. Please do that. Something New's excited. They're very good. They'll draw locals. And we really do want to thank and run a concert and thank those people we've all been put through the ringer the last 3 months, in one way or another, whether your teachers or your parents or workers, whatever. So hopefully people can out and have a good time, and we'll recognize essential workers and have a little fun with that. That is July 18th. Oh, Nick, there we go. Yeah, don't take that with you. Don't take that with you. Draw a line through that. We'll, I didn't put all this on. Yeah. I'm going, it could be, it's been a crazy, certainly week, but we were going to put this poster up and have some floated around town as well. So, yeah, that is July 18th, a week from Saturday, 7 o'clock. So, and, of course, the first Friday event, I guess, was last Friday, too. 250 people out and about, maybe at one time, maybe 300 around, but it was a nice evening. It was hot on the stage till about 6:45, 7, and then the shade started to come around, and we finished the evening real nice, and people that were there had a nice time. The entertainer was very good, and we'll certainly, hopefully do that again. And that's, Nick, did you have anything concerning the Corn Palace? I can go on. I don't want to use a lot of time. Our numbers, Jen gets a report as far as the chamber and tourism every week. We are, since May 18th, we are down 41% from 2019, but we started out being down about 58%, and it jumped to 48% and 45%, and last week we were down 32% from 2019. So we're gaining. We had 2 2,000-person days over the weekend. Last Friday and Sunday were 2,000 people or more. Otherwise, we're in that 1,500 range.
I have a quick question. Moving back to this, are there going to be food vendors, or is it going to be the restaurants in the area?
The restaurants in the area. In fact, we encourage them.
And are they aware
Of this? Yes.
Event?
Yep. Well, the whole United Way Essential Workers Parade is part of that. So social media, United Way is putting that out. I talked on the radio last Friday about that. So lots of different sources. We'll do some press releases. In fact, I already have done one. We'll do another one next week. So otherwise, any questions on that information? It's more general information. I want to spend most of our time on the concert. So that's all I would have.
Okay. Public input. Kiki's here, wants to share a few things from the back 40 with us.
Hi, I'm Kiki. I think all of you know that, but just for the record. So I just want to talk a little bit tonight about the back 40 and some special events and street closure things. So this will be my third summer season here, so yay. But here are some issues that I'm experiencing. So I want to work with you guys. I want you to know, as I'm talking tonight, that I'm also working with Mitchell Main Street Board. I'll be making a presentation to them, as well as the chamber. And I've talked with Greenway here, and we talked. I keep wanting to call you Wade. That's why I say your last name. I'm sorry. But anyway, so I just want to let you know that I'm trying to wheedle my way through everyone here. Some of the things that I'm experiencing at the back 40 are these things. When we do have events and someone closes the street down, I'm not made aware of it. In fact, just recently, I found out on Facebook. And so I'm not made aware at all that the street is closing by email, by anything. So that's a concern of mine, and I have talked to a couple of city council members as well. I think let's just all get together and get a system going. You know what I mean? Whether it's an email list or whatnot, it's really not a big deal, not with social media and email, and I mean, we can be right at each other's door. So that's something that's been happening quite a bit. And with street closures, with special events concerning you guys, Corn Palace Festival is a concern for me. We close down on a Tuesday, a full day. That's a full day of business that I really don't have business at all. People see the street closed, they see construction going on, you know, like rides going up and whatnot, and I don't have anyone come at all. So the last 2 years, I actually was not notified at all that the street was closing a day early or whatever. So I have spoken here with him, but I just want to make light of those are income issues for me and have continued to be income. Now, this year with COVID, it's even more prevalent for me. I'm sure that all of us with businesses and whatnot can understand that our day-to-day operational income is more important than ever. And that's how I'm covering the employees I was able to bring back. So my concern is the days that are closed for construction, Corn Palace, and which would be a Tuesday, and then we have a Wednesday, Thursday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday are amazing. Unfortunately, the last 2 years, they've not made up for those dead days. It's just basically come out actually under even. So when I look at my numbers for the last 2 summers, I'm actually behind, which is crazy. So I know that you have a lot of numbers. I know your numbers. I know the concerts. I've done a ton of marketing. I have actually gone down in the street after your concerts, so and given out coupons for people to come over to try to drive traffic. So not for lack of effort, and definitely not for ignoring and just sitting there and saying, hey, you bring me the people. You know, I'm not that person at all. But I think what I would like to ask is that, I kind of get in on what's going on in the beginning. I definitely want to be involved. I love being part of the process. I'm a creative, so I love all that stuff. So I'm totally in. But if I can be there from the beginning to the end, and just in concerns of, too, when we do have an event, what's going on outside my front door, it affects me deeply of who's coming in that evening, if that makes any sense to you. In regards to your events, Mitchell Main Street and everyone. So I think at this point, I'm ready, I guess at this point, especially with COVID, to jump in and start being part of the, I don't know what you want to say, planning committee or planning of the events there, especially those that, of course, concern me right in front of my door. So I definitely want to be more involved and work with you guys and city council and everybody, like, let's get an email list going, you know, just stuff like that. So basically for me, it's like, and I understand my business is more affected. You know, I mean, I don't have a corner. I'm right in the middle of the street. So when we do street closures, it's really difficult for me. I have to get those people in the door. So that's part of it too, preemptively getting my marketing ready, my strategies and my specials to get my people through the door as well when we're closing those doors and doing those things. So anyway, so those are the things that are happening, but one of my major concerns coming up is the festival. That I will probably have to close up that Tuesday and Wednesday. So in the past, I've not had any income at all those days, and I've actually gone backwards, having employees there and sitting. I know that sounds crazy, but I think in my mind, as I have watched, we have not a lot of kids coming Wednesday night, Thursday night, because they're already in school or whatnot, but we have plenty of kids Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I don't know how to cure that. We're already on for this year. I guess some of that's it's happening, but maybe next year, I don't want to ask you to obviously can the festival. I love it, so I don't want to be part of that negative. But the journey for me is, A, how do we bring people through the door during those weekdays? And B, if we can't, do we concentrate just on the weekend? So does that, and especially with COVID, it's even more prevalent that our numbers will be down for anything that we're planning right now. So anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to address and get you guys thinking on it and work with me on some type of system to start addressing each other for street closures, events, and I would like to do it enough ahead of time. Like I said, let's get our marketing in line with one another. I work closely with Mitchell Main Street and do, post my stuff and vice versa. We have a following now of 10,000 on Facebook. I'm almost 5,000 strong on Instagram. I'm very social media aware, and I market the heck out of that place. So definitely use me as a tool to help you market to people in town too, as well. So anyway, those are just the things I wanted to address with you. They're concerns that I've had for a while, and I've just decided I'm just going to jump in. It's time. So now more than ever, I think all of us are like, well, you can get busy fixing it and working with it, or you can be part of the problem. So anyway, I want to be part of the solution, was my point. So, yes. I don't get the agendas, but I am on the website where you get the alerts, yeah. Yep.
So that's like the easiest way, is they
Yeah.
come up, and then it literally will take you 30 seconds to skim through it and be like, oh, there's a street closure coming up next Monday night. And then
Yep.
two, read what the Daily Republic has.
Yep.
My suggestion
Yep.
too, because they post all of that in.
Most
there.
definitely.
Even us at the chamber, that's how we stay.
Yeah, most definitely, but I'll just be honest with you, I lack the time, and I'm trying really hard, you guys. I do it all there in the business, so I don't always have time to read through all of it all the time, and so that's why I'm asking, or maybe, and I am on that, so I do get on it, but it's hard for me to keep track of all that, and then if I don't preemptively get to the meeting before the street closure, or whatever, and there are a lot of times, just so you know, there are events that they do that and get ready to go, and boom, it's just done. And I'm not anywhere in any of it. So I just want to make sure, like, for example, we have pre-Sturgis coming up. I'm super excited about it, nothing. But I definitely, I want to be part of it, and I want to be in the marketing, and I also have my resources too. So I want to make sure that I'm involved in that and part of that process, definitely. I definitely can attribute some positive to that as well. So I think that's it. Does anyone have any questions for me, or may I answer anything?
No, I think you're doing an awesome job.
Okay.
I love going to that for you, especially on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
But just skim those, honestly,
Yeah.
there are people calling every day saying,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
streets are closing this weekend? Why do they have this 4 p.m.
Yeah.
sign on the yard or street?
Right.
And we honestly just read the minutes.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
how we get our information, and that's the easiest way. And then every time an agenda is posted, whether it's for this board or
Yep.
the library or city council.
Yep, and I'm on those, I just sometimes lack that. But also preemptively, I think when we are starting to plan events, before we even ask for street closures, we should kind of be getting together, I think, to, kind of brainstorm and make that, to have that brainchild be everybody's, you know what I mean? Everyone's on board. And I think that would be, yes.
I think you did really well with COVID. Could you do something like that when you're selling food outside?
That is difficult for two reasons. One, I have to have additional staff, so I have to have my regular kitchen open, and then I have to go outside. I did try that on a first Friday. The first one we went when they were just driving outside. We did do it. It was very difficult, and it was labor heavy for me. And so for me, I don't know, during COVID, is the risk worth it? I mean, you have to decide, I guess, each person. For that labor, do you pay that, and then also the additional product, that you're left with. So there's something to think of there. So I don't know that I have all the staff right now to, like, basically have two little kitchens. So that's definitely an idea. But also we talked about festival. The parking lot across the street from me will be open this year. So we had a discussion about that may help me. Also, we've got our little amphitheater now, and that's awesome, and we're going to be putting some stuff in there, and that's really cool. So I myself am hoping that that's going to create more of a draw, you know, a concentration of people rather than they're just all disseminated everywhere. But if there's any way that I could have some type of signage, or in the past, I worked with Scott about, I think I did like a $200 sponsorship or something, and he printed a little coupon on the back of the concert tickets. And so we've done some things like that to help me draw when that street closure is happening on those weekdays. So if there's any way I can work with you guys that way, I can't afford to do a $5,000 sponsorship. I'm just going to say it outright, not with COVID. Love you all, not that you're not worth it, you are. But I think if I could do something smaller, having the street closed off in front of me, just something we could work together, whether maybe some signage in that parking lot across the street, or I'm not certain, you know, I'm open to creative ideas, but certainly the social media as well. I do that, we share that, it's basically free. So putting those things together is definitely in both of our efforts, so. I think that's it. I don't want to take up the whole night.
Because
So-
of Kiki's
Yeah.
visit this morning, if you on the poster, it says, no cover charge, food and beverage will be available to purchase. Come early, support local business with dinner before the show. You know, we want people to come here,
Yeah.
but it was, you know, sometimes it's like walking in the front door of your store. You just have to be the customer once in a while and think about what the other business.
And we
are thinking.
want to
So-
share, like, I like to share on my media your thing. So as we both attach to each other, I think we all know this, many of us are working in that field. The more you do, and it's free, the bigger it grows, the bigger your public see it. So I want to be able to create my specials and attach to yours and vice versa and keep working that social media angle. And that's where people are at right now. They're on that Snapchat. They are on that Facebook. They're on that Instagram. That's where they're at. They're there before 7 o'clock and after 3. You got them. So definitely, if I have some time here and can work with you, if there's something we can do, like I said, a little bit to work together so I can have that additional income during that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that would be so awesome. So we can keep that going. So I think that's it. Okay.
Anybody else have any questions for Kiki?
Okay, I'll leave it to you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your
Appreciate
time.
it.
Yes, I appreciate it, yes.
Anything else before we go to executive session?
I don't think so.
Okay, do we have a motion to go into executive?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All approved, we're ready to go.
You're on there.
You should still be able to use your popping, regardless of who it is. I can come to it too, Jeff. Here, yeah. And then just pull it out. There you go. Broadcast, yeah.